Thank you. Hi guys, how are you all? You good? You having fun? I'm super excited and really honoured to be here actually, and I'm really just honoured to be talking about a topic that I'm very passionate about. And I just want my little prezzo up, thanks, Mr. Thank you. Cool. The art of soulful relationship building and inviting. And when I say soulful, I mean coming from here. I don't know if many of you have heard what my mission is, but I'll share it with you today. I am on a massive mission to destigmatize this industry. I really, really want all of us to be a part of the movement that raises the standards of this profession. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so passionate about this. Back in 2012, 2013, I actually had the opportunity to travel the world and compete for Australia in natural bodybuilding. I know it doesn't look like that now. I used to have an 8-pack, but it doesn't exist anymore, and that's okay, I'm cool with that. But I had the honour of being able to compete for Australia, and I travelled internationally, and I actually won a world championship, so I have a gold medal at home. How crazy is that? Now, what happened after that, I was all of a sudden approached by several companies that were in network marketing for different products, which is only natural. And I wasn't really interested. I wasn't educated on the different products that people were sharing with me, so I wasn't really into that. But one guy actually caught my attention, and he took me out for lunch and he said, I really want to share this product with you because we want to sponsor you. And I thought, oh my God, I've made it. I've got a sponsor. And so he sat me down and he showed me this awesome presentation on his laptop. And I went home and I was so excited. I told my friends and my family, I'm a sponsored athlete. How awesome is this? And then I actually realised that I had to pay a franchise fee to be a part of this sponsorship. And 6 months later, I actually realised I wasn't sponsored. I was just a franchisee of this network marketing company. And that left a really bad taste in my mouth. I thought, wow, is this what this industry is about? Is it about trickery? Because that's not what I signed up for. So I did nothing with that company, actually. And so fast forward a few years later down the track, I met the awesome Anthony. You all know Ant. And he shared the opportunity with me about Juice Plus, and instantly I said no. And I said no again, and no, and no. And he was persistent. And he did his following up really well, but I had a really bad taste in my mouth, and I thought that this industry was all about spamming people, twisting people's arms, and it was about being a trickster, and I just didn't want anything to do with that. Now, what happened there was I wasn't educated and I wasn't shown how you could actually do this business with an abundant mindset where your values lie in helping others. I just couldn't see that at the time. And so after several conversations with Ant, I thought, you know what? I really love this product. I had had a beautiful experience. I had been on it for about a year. And I thought, I'm really curious to see if I can do this business without being that person online. You know, the type of person I'm talking about, right? The person who spams everyone. And I also didn't want to be that person that had to cold call. I didn't want to be that person who had to go door knocking. I didn't want to be that person who had to have bloody parties every weekend and make my friends buy my product. I didn't want to be that person, but I was insanely passionate and curious enough to see if I could do it another way. And so I came up with a concept of soulful business, and I thought this shouldn't be called network marketing, it should be called collaborative relationship business, because that's the business that we're in, collaborative relationship business. And I'm so glad I said yes, because this business has changed my life in so many ways that I can't even begin to explain without getting emotional. And I just want people out there to see what this could be for them. And I don't want them to be stuck thinking that this business is a trickster business, because it's not. So I'm really excited to introduce the next 3 people to you, because I've had the honour of watching their journey as they joined this business and do it really beautifully. They've done it with soul, they've done it with heart, they've done it really successfully. So I'd love for you to give a round of applause for these 3 rock stars, Soph, Beck and Renee. All right, girls, thank you so much for joining me today. I really want to talk to each of these girls individually about an incredible skill in inviting and relationship building. And first up is Soph, with inviting and conscious conversations. Now, for those of you who don't know Sophie, she's one of our 24 Club NMDs, and this chick is just insane with recruiting. She's recruited over 130 people in the last 3 years and 13 last month alone, which is crazy. Yes. Insane, Soph. So who's excited for me to get into Soph's mind about how she's done this without being a spammer? Soph, I'd love to know, first of all, I'd love to know how do you invite people? How do you have those conscious conversations with people?
I think it's just what Adam was saying. Like, I've just done a lot of it. I've really invested in relationships and building those conversations, and I've just had the courage to ask the question and invite a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And what's your main way?
Yeah, so I think I build like 99.9% on social media. I think, this day and age, we have the technology to do that. And we can do all the posts in the world, but I think having the conversations and having the quality conversations and actually getting to know people, that's the main way that I have brought on that many team. And, there's been old friends that I've reconnected with, but majority of my team are new people that I have connected with, either meeting them out and about or majority online. So growing our network is one of the highest paying activities. So every day I'm starting new conversations. So I build now predominantly on Instagram, which I'm sure a lot of you do in the room. So I'm finding at least 5 new people to talk to every day. So this could be people that I'm finding through hashtags that have similar interests to me. It could be people that are following me or that I'm following. And I genuinely just start conversations with people that I want to get to know and want to care for and find out how or what this could be for them.
I love that. And I watch Soph do this. I'm always watching Soph just building really beautiful relationships with people. She's that girl who's writing nice comments on people's posts and just being a genuine, beautiful human. Let's talk about who to do that with. I know we can all connect and chat with people online, but who do you do it with? Where do you find them?
Yeah. So I think, with what I was saying about with Instagram, it's people that I really vibe with. I'm not just starting conversations with any random that pops up. It's people that have similar interests to me, people that I connect with, people that I would really just love to create a friendship with, and I'm not talking to them with the mindset of, I'm going to recruit you on my team. It's really just genuine and authentic and asking those good quality questions and finding out about them and, just really getting to know them.
I love that. And what about, I know sometimes we can get really stuck in, okay, so I'm really good friends with this girl and she's awesome, we're vibing, we're BFFs on Instagram. When do you invite them? When's the right time? Because you're someone who is so passionate about relationship first. And I love what she said there about not talking to people with intention to recruit or to have them be a part of the product. The intention is to just connect. And, in a world where we're so connected, we can be so disconnected. Do you guys agree? So I love that you do that. You have an intention just to connect. But when is the right time to say, hey, I have something to share with you. I think you'd be great.
Yeah, so having the conversations and asking the good questions like what Adam was explaining, you're going to get to a point, hopefully, where you have a reason. And you don't have the right to invite them without a reason. And the number one tip I can give you is don't be a spamosaurus. Don't be that random person that pops into someone's inboxes, like I'm sure we all get them, that, they're offering you this amazing opportunity. And it might be a really good message, but they don't know anything about you. They're probably not even following you. They probably haven't liked any of your posts. You're literally just a copy-paste random message that you've received. So I think that by having that heartfelt reason, they're going to connect with you on that. And just caring for people and asking those good questions and finding out, if they have a pain that they want to get away from or if they have a goal that they want to work towards. And there's acronyms out there that you can use to have the questions. I know there's FROG and there's FORM. We like to use one called LORD. So L is for location. So you can ask them, how long, I can see that you live on the Gold Coast. Have you always lived there? O is for occupation. So I very rarely ask them straight out, what do you do for work? That just doesn't vibe with me. So I might say, happy Friday. How has your week been? Do you work, Monday to Friday? You can kind of weave it in that way. R is recreation. So finding out what do they love to do in their spare time? What are they getting up to on the weekends? They might say to you, I've got to go to work all weekend. And then D is dreams, and this is probably the most important part. Ask people about their dreams. Don't be scared to ask them. I think we're at such an awesome part of the year where you can ask them, we've got 2 months left of the year. Have you got any goals that you're yet to achieve? Or what are your goals for the next year? And often just asking those kinds of questions, you'll start to realise how or what this could be for somebody.
I love that. And I'd love to actually circle back to Spamosaurus. I love that. That's so cute. Okay, so, I shared with you guys just before how, our mission is to really raise the standards of this profession and to really not have people paint us all with the same brush of, oh, it's just another message, oh, it's just another copy-paste, oh, she called me Sophie and my name's Chani, she must have sent that to a Sophie before me. Do you guys agree that if we collectively work together on this, that we can, like Scott said, a tide rises all boats, right? So it starts in this room, and if we can all work collectively to just not only be those people who don't do that copy, spammy, reach out thing, but be that company that people know us as, like, oh, Juice Plus, you guys are so soulful, you guys are so intentional, you guys build relationships. Let's be the change. And I just want to talk about that for a minute. Now, I have some examples of what these spammy messages look like, and my intention here is not to defame or to name and shame. That's not the case at all. I really want to use this opportunity as an educational opportunity where we can look and go, right, I can see where that's not right. So on the slides here, we've got some examples. Now, I don't have my glasses, so I can't see. But we can see there that these messages are out of the blue. These people haven't done their research. They haven't had a look to see, is this person in network marketing? Do they even want this opportunity? Is it even valid for them? These people have reached out with a bit of a vomit message. Would you agree? And, it's not their fault. It really isn't. We think about traditional network marketing, back in the 90s, and all respect to everyone who started in the 90s, but I just want to say back then it was normal to just do this belly to belly. It was really normal social media didn't exist, and now all of a sudden we have this powerful tool that can actually be leveraged off, but we're using it incorrectly because we're sending messages like, hey, I have an opportunity for you, would you like to check it out? And people are like, I am so sick of this message. I don't want your opportunity. And the reason why I believe there is such a big stigma around network marketing and why we do get painted with the same brush is because this behaviour is happening every day. And do you guys agree it has to stop? Do you guys agree that if we really put some love and heart into our relationship building prior to even mentioning this, that we'd have some more success? Because I know for me and Anthony, he did a really incredible job of keeping that relationship, even though I said no time and time and time and time and time again. He really invested in that relationship. He asked me about my dreams and my goals and what I wanted to do, and I still said no, and he still continued to water that relationship. And so I really just want to show this so that we can just walk away today with being mindful to not do this anymore. And it's not a race. It's not a race to get the next teamie or get the next customer. It really isn't. This is a 10, 20, 40, 50-year long-term investment. When you sign your virtual office, it's a long-term investment, right? We're not in a rush. So what if we just went back to using our heart and connecting with people? And, you do that really beautifully. And these examples here, let's make them no more. It starts in this room. We can all do this together, and I'm so excited for all of us to walk out of here and be the change and to really stop this behaviour and raise the profession of this, raise the standards of the profession. So, how do you build trust and rapport? Let's talk about that, because I know some people are probably sitting here going, okay, so does that mean I talk to people for 2 months, 5 months, a year? Like, what does that look like for you?
Everybody's different. Every conversation and relationship that you build is going to be different. Some might escalate really quickly, some might take weeks, months, years. But I think if you're being consistent with it and you're asking good questions and you're being genuine and you're caring for them and you're coming from a place of love and you're, being vulnerable yourself, you're sharing bits about you as well. I think that's the best way that you can build trust and rapport and just be consistent with your conversations.
And let's talk about some phrases that we can use so that people can write some down in the notebook. What are some really cool phrases that you could use to invite someone and do that really beautifully without being that cringy person with the business opportunity?
Yeah, so I think it's important to give people kind of like an opt-out. You're not just like sending them this message and then just expecting them to say yes. So something that we use is like, I don't know if this is going to be for you, or it might be or it might not be. Totally okay if it's not, but I thought of you because. So you're telling them that heartfelt reason, and if you can't give them your heartfelt reason, you can't invite them yet. You don't have the right to, so then you just have to go back and ask them more questions. Give them a compliment. People love to be complimented, and that's another way that you're going to build trust and rapport with them. They're going to they're going to know, and they're going to trust you. And then always asking if you can send information. Don't just be like, hey, I thought of you because, and send them a website or send them a link. Ask them, if I sent you some information, would you be open to having a look, or would you like to check it out? And then be unattached to the outcome. Don't get hung up on it. And I think a lot of people get really caught up in this stage. They get really afraid of inviting because they're fearful of what people might say, or being rejected, or just assuming that they won't be interested. But I think we have a moral obligation to share this with people. And who are you to deny someone from this by you getting in your way, getting in your head and not in your heart, and not actually having that 30 seconds of courage and inviting them. And I think it's really important to, if that comes up for you and you're scared to write that message, just take a second, take a deep breath, and just think, if by me sharing this with them, what if that changes their life?
I love it. Thank you so much, Soph. Okay, next we have the beautiful Beck with creating curiosity and sharing your story. Now, this rock star has one of the most amount of customers in our team. You've done such a beautiful job with sharing your personal health journey online, but also you have just like mastered the art of curiosity. And I'm assuming that's the reason why you have so many customers, because so many potential customers are like, I want what you're on. Like, this is cool. So I'd love to ask, first of all, what's curiosity? How do you do that?
So essentially with curiosity, it looks like not spamming people with all the information. So for me, as you can see, I have a little girl, and I film her having her chews each day, and she gets so excited because they're lollies. And I'll film myself taking my whole food capsules, like I'll do a boomerang. And I show my transformation, and I talk about our amazing program, and I talk about our products. And when I talk about our products, I refer to them as my whole food capsules. And I'm really genuine and honest with people, and I say that I'm really busy and I'm on the go, and today I missed lunch, so I had a quick shake instead, or I've had this after gym. And essentially, it's just creating room for questions to be asked, because that's what you want people to do. You want them to come to you. You don't want them searching, and you want them to ask you, what is that thing that you're taking? Or what's in that shake that you're having? What does that look like? And then it also builds that relationship. And it's really important just to also share your story. Share why you're on the products. Share what you're doing. Share why you're doing the business. Because it's going to create, like I said, the curiosity, and it'll build that rapport.
Yeah, I love that. And you do it really well, because you don't name the product on your socials, which it isn't done because of any other reason other than you want people to come to you to ask about what it's called. So there's no Juice Plus link in your bio. There's no hashtag Juice Plus on photos or anything like that. You intentionally hide the branding so that people can come to you and ask questions. So why is that important?
It allows people to come to you. It allows the relationship to be built. As we know, this business that we're in, it takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of time for someone to trust you enough to give you not their card information, but to share what's going on with them with you, because we're all struggling. We're all going through something quite massive. And to open up to someone and to be vulnerable, that takes a lot, and you need to be vulnerable with them as well. So when they're telling you what's going on in their life, you need to say, that resonates with me. I was at this point too, so I completely understand where you're coming from.
I love that. And we've got some examples of what curious posts look like. I'll show you 4. So this one is about the omegas, and there's no call to action on it. Intentionally, there's no message me, DM me. It's just, hey, here are some facts about omega fatty acids and what they do for our body, and really educating people on why they need them. So a lot of people will read that and go, oh, I didn't know that essential fatty acids weren't available. We don't make them in our bodies. Like, well, I need to get a plant-based omega, and that will allow people to create questions and ask you. And you can also do this with the business side of things, not just the product. So here's a really awesome post of Soph's. She's just listed a bunch of things that people may be. Are you a lover of health? Are you passionate about healthy living? Are you a blogger? Are you a health advocate? And allowing people to read something like that without knowing what it is, so that then they reach out and go, hey, actually, I would love to one day be a health coach, or I would one day love to be a blogger, or I am really passionate about health. It just allows that space for people to reach out. This is one of Beck's awesome posts about creating curiosity. I just love how just the capsules are just there. They're just like beautifully placed. And, she's just saying she's starting her morning off with sleep and water and flooding her body with nutrients, and there's no call to action there. It's just, how do you start your day? And then that leaves an opportunity for people to go, oh, what are those? Or I start my day very similar, but I don't have those things. What are those things? And here's an awesome curiosity post from Renee. She posted this after her conference this year, her first conference ever, and she just posted about, who she's looking for to work with, who has crazy work ethic, who's not appreciated in their job, who knows that there's a better way, who's, she's looking for a collaborative duo to work with her, and that allowed a lot of people to reach out and go, I saw you posting on your story about this awesome conference you went to, and I want what you're on, and I want to be in the cult that you're in. And it just allowed people to just reach out because you created so much curiosity about that. So those are just some examples there. So going back to you, Beck, I'd love to know about what creating curiosity doesn't look like.
You do not want to be a Spamosaurus or a Spamela Anderson. You don't want to be that person that is bombarding people with what you're up to, because it makes you come across as non-genuine, because there's an ulterior motive. You're just purely out there to get people, and as much as, yes, you genuinely care, if you're spamming someone, you're not allowing the room for the trust to be built. You're not allowing for questions to be asked. And they're not going to take notice of what you're posting. Like, we all know those people that post on their stories and they speak for 4 minutes and you're like, tap, 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 tap. Mm-hmm. So it's just really important to, not spam them. Don't make unrealistic claims either. We know how amazing our products are, and what we do are part of this great team. So we don't need to make unrealistic claims. Let the actions speak for themselves. And don't be desperate. Like, we know this isn't for everyone. So why are we trying to grab everyone? And we need to make sure that we're not sharing the Juice Plus name, because when you share the Juice Plus name, it then allows people to research and go to Google and lodge their orders through the JP website, and you'll never see them as a customer. And don't, like Soph said, don't go into it with an ulterior motive. Don't sell. You just really need to be authentic and just share your story with them authentically.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Beck. All right. We only have a few more minutes, and I'm really mindful of time. I want to respect everyone's time here. So this is Renee, you guys, and Renee has been in the business for about 6 months, but what I love about you is you're just like a little bit of a crazy unicorn, and you're really great with customers and team. You were actually a customer of mine for 3 years before joining this business, and this was a 3-year conversation, so you said no to me so many times. So it's so cool to have you here. You do something really well. You prize yourself so that people want what you have. And I love that you've done that. Do you feel like because you had a really beautiful customer experience for 3 years that you know the value of what you have and you're really excited to share that? Do you think that's where that prizing comes from?
Yeah, I definitely do believe that I can put myself in a position when I'm sharing this opportunity that I'm confident in sharing it. I have belief in the product. I have belief in the company. I have belief in myself because I've had a great customer experience that Chani gave me. So when I'm sharing this with someone else, I actually know what I have, and that just helps with building your confidence, I guess.
What's an example of prizing? Give us an example of like what you would say.
So when I do a post or a poll, what I say to people is, if they reach out or they comment on my post or they vote on my poll, I always say, I'm so glad my post or poll served you today. If it's we call them TV poll, I'll always say, what would be the biggest benefit that you could get out of having an online business? And this will just help me see if you'd be a good fit for our team. So straight away, I'm not like, thank you so much for commenting. Oh my God, I think you'd be amazing. No, like, I'm the amazing one, and what I've got to offer is amazing, and yeah, if you want to join it, you can, but you've kind of got to prove yourself to me before I'll invest in you.
I love that. This girl's a boss. I love watching her do that. It's really cool. What about people who aren't confident in this area just yet?
So the biggest piece of advice I can give is go to work on yourself first. Get clear on your why and know who you are and know what you've got to offer. If you're not clear on that, that's the first step, because when you know who you are and what you've got to offer, people are going to be drawn to you and you're going to be confident in sharing that. Another piece of advice is practice. I used to have a crippling fear of public speaking, like to the point I had to get hypnotised to say a speech at my sister's wedding. And now I'm here in front of all these people. I'm a bit nervous, but it feels good, like I'm excited to be here. So. And another piece of advice in building your confidence is use your mentors. use them in three-way chats. It's the only way to build your confidence and to know how to do this. You can't do it by yourself. That's what everyone is here for. So I would get Chani in three-way calls, sometimes secretly record what she'd say and then practice that myself and build my own scripts from that. And now I can share that confidently. So
I love that. And that was going to be my next question. Like, how do you objection manage? Because I know a lot of people here would be thinking, right, I get it. Like, well, what about when people say no for now, or this isn't for me? How do you manage objections?
So I honestly wish I had a golden one-liner for objections, but I don't. I'm not really good at objections yet because I've only been in this business for 6 months. But the one thing that I am good at is not being an expert. I use our resources, I use our mentors. We've got a preview group. I'm sure most of you guys do have that. Use other people's stories to share objections, and that just helps build validation. Like, you don't need to know everything. You're not trying to convince anyone. You're able to be authentic, and you're able to, I don't know, share this opportunity with people using other people's stories.
I love that, because a lot of people think, oh, I can't, and I hate the word close, but that's, what we're talking about here. Some people think, oh, I can't close because I'm not an expert, but really all you need to do is use the power of story, which is our running theme today, using the story of others or using your story, using your upline story, and just really sharing how this could be for them by the power of storytelling. So my last question to you before we wrap up is, you do a really good job of getting yourself in state for this part of the conversation with people. When you are prizing yourself and when you are closing, you're really great with energy. How do you do that?
So I think it's really, really important to feel the emotions that you want your potential customer or your potential teamie to feel before you get on a call with them, before you reply to their message. Because if you're coming from a place of desperation, you're like, oh my God, I need this sale, I need money, blah, 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 like they'd be good at it. They're gonna feel your energy. Whereas if you come from an abundant space and you know you've got an amazing opportunity and you want to inspire them and you're really excited, when you get on that call with them, or then when you're replying to their text, they're gonna feel excited, they're gonna feel inspired. So my biggest tips to get into state, and I got this from Loz actually, so find a song that really pumps you up. There was this one Wednesday morning and she was like coming in hot with like Grown Woman by Beyonce, and I was like eating my breakfast and she was like dancing around, and I was like ready to move my breakfast and get on the table and dance. I was like, this is so exciting. So find a song that pumps you up, that helps you get out of your head and get you in the mood. And another thing that really helps if you're feeling really, really flat, this helped me when I fractured my arm, triple dose your Juice Plus. Like honestly, my arm was sore, but I felt so good. So if you're looking for a pick-me-up, do that.
Amazing. Thank you, girls. Thank you so much for having us, guys.